Okay, so today you're going to need your watercolors, your 2 drawings that you did yesterday. We're going to do a gradation going from darker in the front to lighter in the back. So let's go ahead and get your watercolors ready. You can use this tray for our mixing, just the lid of your watercolors, or if you have some sort of neat plastic paint tray, that would also be great and probably easier, but both of them will do the job. Okay, so first off, you're going to want to sort of choose your color scheme. I'm going to let you do whatever you like. You could go with real like black mountains that get lighter as they get in the distance and a red sky. You could do whatever, any choice you want to make. It's up to you. Now you want to use the tip of your paintbrush. You don't want to smush your paintbrush. See what I just did there? Don't do that. Just use the tip. That's how you're going to control it and get a really nice line, because we have to follow the lines of all these mountains that we made. All right? So just go slow and be careful. All right, I am thinking I'm going to stay in the cool color. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll do a bright sky and do cool colors on my mountain. But I want to use just one color. So for your mountains, you have to choose one color. That is the assignment. One. I think I'm going to go with the green. All right, so I'm going to start with the mountain that's closest to me. And this is going to be darkest. And then they're going to get lighter as they get away from me in the distance, because the atmosphere comes in and makes everything a little bit fuzzy. So remember that. Darkest in the front. Here we go. Go ahead and load your brush. But I'm going to put some of it in here because there's a lot of water in there. I was very generous with my water. So I'm going to grab some of that color and just place it over here. Start to get ready for my next mountain range. Okay, let's get crack-a-lackin'. I'm going to grab some of this paint, and now I'm always going to do the edges first. So I'm going to start up here, and I'm going to very carefully follow the mountain range that I made. Now if you let that just sit there, that's going to dry like a line. And we really don't want it to look like a line. So as you do little portions, go ahead and grab more green paint and start to paint underneath it, just so you obliterate the line. We don't want an intense line. Watercolor is sort of a, what would we say, unpredictable style of painting. So you're going to get some dark areas and some light areas, and that's fine, because that's actually going to make it look more like mountains, like there are rocks and ridges, and we're okay with that. But we definitely don't want it to look like there's a hard outline on our mountain, so let's try to avoid that. Just don't let it sit for too long. Start to blend it down. Okay, so we're just going to use this same method for this entire bottom mountain, the one that's closest to us. Just sort of carefully going across that line and then pulling the paint down and eventually filling in the entire mountain range. All right, time to really speed this up. So you can see I'm just working my way across the page, dragging the paint down. I'm just trying to avoid any big lines or big splotches. Now you might have noticed I got a little sneaky and I pulled out a bigger brush to carry my paint across in larger swoops. So if you have a larger brush, you may want to do that as well, but not for the little details. In those, you go back to that fine tip brush. Now I've added water to the green because I want it to be lighter. It should not be as dark as the first mountain range. but you don't want to add too much water all at one time because we have several layers of mountains. We have what, like 5 layers of mountains to do? And each time we paint the next layer, they need to get a little bit lighter. And so this is the trick. Now we add more water in there. One thing I'll point out to you is you can really see my pencil lines, and I'm really hoping that you drew a whole lot lighter than I did. Excellent. All right, I think we did it here. I'm just going to go over a couple of areas that need to be just darkened up a little bit, add just a little more paint. We are going to have our little strip of black on top of this, so you don't have to worry about the very bottom, but I would worry about getting the front mountain just really dark. Okay, time for the sky. You may do whatever you like. I think it would probably be best to do at least somewhat of an ombre effect. So I would sort of plan on whatever colors you want to use. Use at least 2 in the sky and 2 colors that are going to blend together. They need to be in the same family. So if you choose something like yellow, you could do orange or green in your sky. If you choose blue, you could do violet or green next to that blue. Or if you choose red, you could do orange or violet next to that red, and that would look really nice. I decided to go with these really warm colors, and I'm going to be honest with you, after I was done, I wished I had done my sky a whole lot more red. I didn't like the yellow at the end, but it's all right. And now I want my sun not to be the same yellow as the sky. So I'm adding a little bit of orange to it so I can make it a little more golden. All right, it's a pretty sky. It's just in the end, I decided I didn't love it for this project, but that's what happens sometimes. I'm just gonna take my blue and I'm gonna dot some clouds into the sky. I'm not trying to form like every single little bit of the cloud. I'm just giving it a feeling of clouds, and I'm letting that wet paint that's already on the paper sort of spread it and fuzz it away. And you did it. We're going to let that dry and we'll come back tomorrow. But I just want to point out to you, you're going to need to clean up, and I don't want you to forget to clean out your tray before you close it. I have done that so many times in my life. I'll have you back here tomorrow and we will continue on to part 3.